in Cleveland at Jarvis Landry's house with Jarvis Landry's daughter, who is not at all afraid of it, petting the deer, feeding the deer, befriending the deer. I don't think it's Bambi, Shaun. Turning it into a social media star, pretty much the cutest thing ever. Also making friends, Terrell Pryor in Jacksonville, the Jaguars' new wide receiver, posting of his meeting with the Jaguars' new quarterback, Nick Foles. He's tall. And also, why'd you have to throw 7 touchdowns on my 2013 Raiders? Eagles fans will certainly remember that NFL record-tying performance. Brett Favre, 4th on the all-time touchdown list. In Houston, it would appear today, with J.J. Watt, who grew up in Wisconsin, must have had some fun with this. And it sounds like Le'Veon Bell had some fun with this. His first handoff as a Jet in minicamp today. Nothing major on this handoff, but the second one did go for a big gain. And it sounds like he's expecting a lot of those this season with Kim Jones after practice.
Le'Veon, we're here at the Jets facility. What's it like to be here at the Jets with your teammates?
Man, it means everything in the world. You know, this process, it feels like I'm a new kid in school again. You know, I go to school for a minute, you've been a man for a minute, then you go to a new school, it's like you kind of learning, but it's like exciting at the same time. That's what it feels like, and I remember last night, the fact I was just walking around the facilities and, just talking to people and doing my normal routine of stretching and getting in the hot tub and cold tub and being in the training room, it just like brought all the great memories back and like, oh, I'm back to playing football, and it just felt amazing, the feeling just, it felt great. I mean, like, I was happy I got to wake up at 6 a.m. to, to go get over here for meetings, So, like I said, it feels amazing, and I'm glad that, I'm here and I got the opportunity to be here, and I'm happy.
In light of that answer, I ask you this. Then why stay away if you love the camaraderie and the teamwork and being around your teammates so much?
Why I stayed away last year?
No, during the voluntary time here.
Oh, because at the same time, I know a lot of people are expecting a lot from me, so I want to be my best self. What I've been doing over the course of my career, and everybody's been seeing me on TV and in practice, is me being my best self. So in the off season, I've been doing the same things. I go to work out, with my trainer, he knows my body to a T. He knows the things that, I'm great at. He knows things that I'm, not necessarily great at, and he try to help those things, versus, it's a guy or our trainer here, coaching 50 guys, 60 guys, is a trainer me one-on-one. So I can be my best self, so I can help, this team the best that I can,
right.
And that's my goal. I want to be the best that I can be because I want to win a Super Bowl, and I don't want no excuses as to why, when I come here I wasn't ready or, I wasn't prepared or anything. I want to make sure my body was all the way straight. I was all the way good, and I feel good now.
So if there's a lot of pressure on you, and I would argue there is here, you're ready for it. That's the point.
Unbelievably ready. I think for me, I don't really look at it as pressure.
Okay.
I just look at it as an opportunity, to show people what I can do. That's what I'm looking at.
How about you and Adam Gase? He has said that you've been in constant communication.
Yeah.
There's also, as you know, been the reports that he either perhaps wanted another player or perhaps wanted to pay you less.
Right.
How have the two of you talked through any of that?
Me and Coach Gase, we got our own relationship. The reports, I don't know, wherever it came from, but me and him literally, like, even though I was training in Miami, I was sending him my videos of what I was doing and my routes that I wanted to run and things like that, and he communicating with me about what's going on in practice. I feel like, the reports is the reports. They can say whatever they want, but me and him have a great, strong relationship, and I think it's only gonna get better, as the course go on, and I'm happy. So I'm happy he's happy, regardless of, if people think they didn't want to pay me as much or if they wanted another player. Obviously, it's business, so you always want to kind of get more for less, right? Just like, anybody, right? So even if that is true, I came here to do a job. He came here to do a job. We both understand that, and we're going to do our job. He wants to win a Super Bowl. I want to win a Super Bowl.
Right. We
get along perfectly fine. So that report is totally false with me. I think me and him get along great.
Last thing for you, Le'Veon, and I really appreciate your time. What can the Jets be? I know that you haven't been around them a lot this offseason, but you're here now. What can Sam Darnold be with this offense, with you helping a second-year quarterback? You see that defense. What can they be this season? What do you imagine for your team? I feel like the sky's the limit. We have a lot of potential. We have a lot of young players who really want to win,
Now, it's going to be hard to kind of like understanding how to win, if you haven't been part of winning, So I think, guys like myself and, maybe Beecham and, even Sam, because he's, so he was winning games, high school, college, guys like that who know how to do it, we got to kind of bring it together as a team, and I think just us being a young group, and if we do get it together, I feel like the sky's the limit for us, Like I said, it's going to take a lot of consistency, a lot of hard work, but I'm confident that we can make a lot of noise this year.
You sound like a guy who is all in.
I'm all the way in, 100%, 110%.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Let's go back to the top of the show, though, because it's been 506 days since that man put on a helmet.
506?
And went 506
Can you
days.
say fresh days?
According to my calculation, that's over a year.
Yes, it's year and a half.
Well done,
over.
Thank you.
Okay, besides
By the way,
knowing how
great
many
job by
days are
Kim
in a
Jones.
calendar year. Kim, excellent interview because
Great
she asked
job.
the pointed question. Why are you not here? You have a thought about a guy signing for huge money, coming to a new team, and then skipping all the not mandatory OTAs.
Yeah, the reality is, look, Le'Veon Bell has been the most productive running back in the NFL. So when it comes to week one, and once he's there in training camp, none of this is going to matter.
Sure.
But I do have a little question with what he was saying about, hey, I got my trainer and I'm look, the Jets have OTAs next week, so you can't come for 4 more days.
And
then
Kim
you have
reported
5 weeks
earlier,
to go back and
he's
train
not.
your trainer before you come to training camp.
Yeah.
So, that would be my only beef if I'm in that locker room.
Okay.
I'm an old lineman. We're all here. Let's just get as many reps as we can. We got a chance to be great. Let's be great, and let's make sure we don't miss out on any reps.
But there's a reason, though, why, too. It's voluntary and not mandatory. If it was mandatory, they'd make him be there. But he doesn't need to be there. And I think we all know that. And I'll say this, if you won't say it, is that OTAs it's overblown. It's overhyped. I mean, a lot of these guys, especially at that level, can come in during training camp and get up to speed, get the rhythm.
Yeah.
You don't need all these extra days built in. And there's a reason why the NFL in total has cut down on some of the practices and so on and so forth. But he understands his body better than anybody. When you look at the mileage that he's put on his body, over 1,000, you look at how many touches he's had, over 1,200 touches, over 5,000 yards. We talked about Todd Gurley not too long ago. TD made an excellent point about his body breaking down. Well, he's got to be able to preserve his body as well. And ultimately, he's responsible for the preservation of his body.
All right, with all this stuff, new O-line, new offensive system for him, new contract, blah, 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 all of this. He was one of the best weapons in football the last time we saw him in an NFL game. How high a level does he reach here in year one with the Jets?
Higher.
I think the interesting thing that is going to play out is how Adam Gase uses him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we saw him as a receiver. I think he had 80 catches his last full season with the Steelers. So he's going to be a threat from that capacity. The stats may not show up as well as they did when he was at Pittsburgh, and here's why. The Jets' offensive line is nowhere near as good as what he had with the Steelers. So that patience that we saw from Le'Veon Bell, I don't know if he's going to be able to have that because this Jets offense is still figuring out. Look, last year they were one of the worst offensive lines. The run blocking was not very good. They struggled in a lot of different areas.
Sean,
so that will be
let me just say this.
the difference for Le'Veon Bell.
Let me just say this real quick.
He had the luxury
I'm
of
not
a great
calling
O-line.
Le'Veon Bell God, okay? But he is a creator. And he creates stuff in space. And when you look at the way his game is, that's what he does best. So even without the line, I'm not saying he doesn't need his line, but he can create plays and manufacture plays on the go, just like that. So I think he's going to perform at a higher level.
Higher level. He averages about 8 or 9 touchdowns a season from scrimmage, whether running or receiving. More or less than 9 touchdowns this year.
What? Are you kidding me?
You're saying double digits?
Yeah. Of course, double digits. Of
One
course.
of our leading fantasy voices here on the network. So more or less 9, real quick.
I'll take more.
Yeah, more. Okay.
I think he's
touchdowns for Le'Veon.
You and I was going to go at
You're
it right
saying
now.
Darnold, how are you not going to give him the football?
Right.
Absolutely.
Anytime
One way
you
or
get down the
another.
red zone,
Right.
he's getting the
He'll
rock.
have more than 15 touchdowns.
Handoffs and dump-offs. It's going to happen in that offense.
And Adam
All right.
Gase is not letting off the gas pedal.
First day of mini camps for 9 teams across the league. Oh, social media was buzzing. You can check out all of these. Go to @NFL on Twitter, Instagram, your favorite social media platform. Stop by @Scott Hansen while you're at it as well, if you don't mind.
You go.
And listen to the best from the podiums here on mini camp day 1.
I came into the building yesterday. We had the media day and all that, in front of the cameras. I was able to just walk around the facility, just go through my training as preparing for practice the next day, and this felt so good.
We got to have guys that are goal-oriented, on a single focus and mindset. And so, once we get that communicated, I say communication all the time, but it's important to have everybody on the same page. And so the more you're able to focus on that, you block out the negative stuff, and you're able to come together as a team and grow.
We went to a vegan restaurant, and all those guys showed up, and we walked in, and we're talking for a second, then it just kind of got silent. And two biggest dudes at the table, KK and Trey, was like, man, what's up with this vegan? Like, why are we here? But they were there, and that means a lot that they were like, you know what, man? Like, we got to get this dude.
We'll be smart just because he hasn't been here. I know he's been working out. I'm not really worried about him being in shape. It's more of just kind of football. Getting back to that, getting used to.
He's the same guy, but I think he's just upped it a little bit more. I mean, I saw him after every single throwing session, he was doing a conditioning session without us. And that's something, I mean, I've always seen him do like conditioning, but afterwards he was getting after it. So that was a little different than what I saw.
No more. I'm just messing with you, Tony. Settle down. Come here and give me a hug.
After the break, what do you want if you're a Redskins fan, or a Broncos fan, or a Dolphins fan? Better question, who do you want? The Pet Project or the Vet Project? We're talking quarterback battles, including one that technically doesn't exist. Next.